At the start of 2019, I purchased these Godox AD200 flash units. I've been using them all year, and I just want to tell you a little bit more about what I've done with them. Before I went over to the Sony system, I used to be on Canon, and I used a mixture of Canon flash, along with Yongnuo and a few other off-brand makes. It wasn't really that Godox were bad, they just weren't on my radar. Until the start of this year, when everyone was raving about these AD200s, I haven't really heard much about them. I decided to purchase these, and I had my initial review back at the start of the year, which you haven't already seen it. I suggest maybe you check that out first. Having used them for a couple of months, I then went on and used the round head flash. I purchased that as an optional extra, and that also changed the way I was able to use the light, and then I was quite happy for the light to even be visible in the shot. I do a lot of backlit off-camera flash. That's my style, especially with wedding photography, and these really do fit my needs perfectly. Before I waffle on too much, just see some of the shots I've managed to get with these over the summer. Obviously with the Sony a7 III, a few different lenses, but essentially the round head flash, since I've used it, has not come off of this at all. So I'm not going to lie, these flashes have been wonderful for me. They have performed magnificently. I've hardly charged them up all year, maybe 2 or 3 times. Obviously I am swapping between the two, but I tend to shoot with just one if I need to get extra creative and maybe have one on a softbox, one off to the side, and then one from behind. I will do that, but I generally shoot with one. I use this one in a softbox with the bare bulb head or with the Fresnel head, and then the round head I will use just on its own without any form of softbox generally. There's no denying what these can do. The power you can get out of these is fantastic, nearly enough to overpower the sun. I haven't needed to do that as a wedding photographer this year, but the power is there. With the dual head, you can actually overpower the sun and create some awesome portraits with that if needed. For me and my style, I like to do it if the sun starts to go down, or you'll find that dusk is setting or it's not quite there in the height of summer. You can still bring these out, and once the sun's gone down to a certain level, you'll find these are more than powerful enough on their own. You get fantastic results with these. So whilst they're not advertised as weatherproof, I have put them through the ringer. They've got wet, it's been rained on, it's been cold. They have performed fantastically well. It's now going into winter here in the UK, and it does get cold, but these things still hold up so well. Again, after 12 months use, have I had any issues with connectivity? No, nothing at all. They perform brilliantly with the Godox X Pro flash trigger. The battery power on these seem to go on for quite a long time. I'm not stood there for hours on end flashing constantly with them, but the recycle time is quick, and even now, after a year of use, they are going strong. These have been out to about 50-60 events and weddings with me, no issues whatsoever. I think this is still the most versatile off-camera flash option that is out there at the moment on the market. You've got the new Godox V1, the V1S, which looks really good. That is a round head on-camera flash, but obviously it can be used as a wireless flash in this system, and that's next on my list. I use the Godox 350V, which is the rechargeable battery version of the Godox 350, and that's actually quite a small little flash. It's nothing special. It's a good little portable flash unit, especially for the Sony a7 III, just when you need a little extra pop of light if you're doing any evening shots and it's just a general shot, you want to bounce it off the ceiling or something. That's quite a good little flash to use, but these are much more powerful, and for the first dance, these actually do such a lovely job as well. The first dance is another part of the day that I always get one of these out. I tend to just use one. Backlight from behind, I love to get that rim light on the couple. It also then bounces on the wall that might be behind me, so I usually have my back to the DJ facing the crowd and all the guests looking at them, so it bounces behind me as well to give them a little bit of light and also their guests a little bit of light. A lot of people seem to think I've had another light behind me, but I'm not. They're just that good that they can give enough light, bounce off the wall behind, as long as it's not a wood wall or a yellow or orange paint or anything like that. Most venues have white walls. They bounce off on the wall behind, straight onto everyone else, and it gives a nice bit of ambient light, but still lighting the couple from behind to give them that silhouette, really make them stand out. It's another signature shot of mine, and I do it at every wedding, and as you can see, the results are superb. So for the money, I think these come in at under $250, £250 in the UK. They are a fantastic flash unit. Obviously you need to use them with a separate stand. They're not that light, they're not mega heavy, but they've got a weight to them. And that is something you need to take into account. You will need flash stands and they will need to be mounted on them at all times. But if you take your time when you use them, you should get the results you need. Do I still recommend them 12 months on? Absolutely. They are fantastic and I love what I'm getting with them. What's next for me when it comes to flash and flash options? I think I'm going to keep using these for the next 12 months. I may look at that Godox V1 then. Does look rather nice. Thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know I do talk about off-camera flash quite a lot, and you can see subtle ways that I tend to change up my shots. I have a few signature images that I like to capture in the way I like to pose couples, and I do then try and make each one look different, and especially if it's a different location, that's easy, but I still trying to change it up a little bit. If you'd like to see a tutorial on how I set this up, or maybe a sample shoot, then do leave a comment down below and I'll take that into account. It's something I'm looking at doing, getting out and about and showing a bit more of what I can do hands-on, so you can see a little bit closer behind the scenes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It makes a real big difference if you do subscribe. We've been flying along. Subscribers this year have been coming in and it's been a real pleasure. Hello to all you new subscribers. I hope you've enjoyed some of the videos that we've already had. If you have, give a thumbs up, that'd be great. And again, as always, I'm Matt from Roto, and I'll see you in the next one.